In today's video we're checking out this. It's a new Honda E. Okay, so I'm with one of the subscribers, Julian, who's got this lovely Honda E. We've just been out for a little drive around, so we'll have some B-roll as we go through things, but we'll just do this one a little bit of an interview style with Julian. So talk about why I decided to go for a Honda E. I think you had hybrids before, haven't you, in the family? But
my wife's got a Mini Countryman plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, and I'd previously had Mini John Cooper Works. I've had 3 of them. The last one was a Mark III. Fantastic cars, but actually my wife's Fev that convinced me to get an electric, because it only does a maximum of 20 miles the Fev, but most of the time we've done about 8,500 miles, I think, and about over 7,000 of that's been electric.
Right, so you know it works for you.
Yes, because it's like, maybe the next car ought to be electric.
So this is it, your first electric vehicle. So how are you finding it? You've only done just under 200 miles still, haven't you? So
yeah,
still running it in, if that's the thing.
So we haven't had it 2 weeks yet. Just got it on the 1st of the month. But no, it's great. I'm past middle age, I think you'd say now, heading middle age, and maybe I didn't quite need the boy racer cars, but actually this goes really well. So I've likened it to being in a relaxed lounge, the interior when you see your B-roll. But yet it still picks up well. It handles well. We're lucky to live in the countryside in rural Worcestershire, and I think it's just ideal. I did a sort of a rough analysis that said like 95% of my time I'm doing less than 50 miles a day.
Yeah.
Although my job can take me off to client sites, obviously not with COVID at the moment. But so most of the time it meets all my needs, and my daughter's grown up now. It's not a big car. You'll see all sorts of YouTube reviews where people go, "Oh, it's not a big car." Bloody hell! No, it's not a big car. Look at the size of it. Yeah. And so it's like, I don't want a big car. I've always liked small cars, from Minis, and I had a Brabus Roadster Coupe, a smart Brabus Roadster Coupe, and a Renault 5 GT Turbo in the past. But the biggest car we ever had was a Subaru. Yeah. We just don't need big cars. I'm not that big a guy. So the space is ideal for us.
Yeah.
We're not going big distances. It's going to be incredibly economical to run.
Yeah, when we were driving around, I think we're averaging about 4 miles per kilowatt, aren't we? So
yeah,
that's pretty
and I
good.
think if we zeroed it, we probably got better than that.
Yeah.
We've got 2 trip meters,
right?
An A and a B. If we just zeroed it, I bet, because we weren't exactly racing around.
Yeah.
We should have been getting maybe 4.5 as well. So, but I think like you, I'm on an Octopus tariff, and when you're charging overnight at 5 pence a kilowatt hour,
it's
working out like 1.3, 1.4 pence per mile.
Yeah.
And again, like you, I've got solar panels.
Yeah.
And if I can charge through the solar panels, it's even free. So it's like, why wouldn't you? What was the main thing that drew you to the Honda E? Because I know obviously you joined the Discord channel and you spoke about the ID3 and a few other, and the electric Mini as well, wasn't it? So what? So I drove the Leaf and decided that we didn't need anything quite that big. I put a deposit on the VW ID3, the Peugeot E208, and this, and this went back to May last year. And Honda were very kind enough to invite me along to the Festival of Speed, and I got to sit inside it then beforehand. I thought, oh yes, this is looking very good. I test drove the E208, and again I thought it was a really nice car, but the fact it looks like all the other 208s, and again I think the 208 looks like a nice car,
Yeah.
but decided I'd rather have one that's pure electric.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's only available electric.
Yeah.
I also drove the Vauxhall, which is the Corsa E, which is it's the same platform as the Peugeot,
Right.
and I can understand why somebody would buy it, but I didn't think it fitted my needs as well. There's a longer range than this, but I didn't think I needed it. I drove the Mini E, and it was and I really like the Mini E, but it was again because I've had three. I've had three mini hatchbacks, and we've had 3 Countrymen.
Yeah.
I think it's time for something else. I really like minis as well, but it's time for a change.
Yeah.
I never drove a Zoe actually, but it was going to be this, or and the Volkswagen. They I had a deposit down on the first model, but I had to pay for it before I'd even driven it.
Yeah.
And people do that, but I never have.
No.
I was going to pay 37 grand or whatever the number was about that, without having driven the car. So I got my
You want to
deposit
experience it,
back.
don't you, before you cough up.
And so it was going to be this or the Mini.
Yeah.
Although I did quite like the look of the Fiat E500, which is due out, but again that'll be a more of a weight.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in Worcestershire there isn't a Fiat garage.
Yeah, true.
So
yeah, so you want to have the servicing network, don't you? The
So-
dealer network.
I ended up buying this from starting in Worcester. I think they've looked after me really well. I think it's been really good customer experience. So all in all, I'm not doing a massive mileage. I think the interior and the style of it is superb, and that's what tripped me over to buy it rather than the Mini.
Yeah.
And as I said, I've had numerous Minis. It's time for a change.
Time for a change.
Move on.
One thing that I'm not sure about with the Honda E was the camera mirrors.
Sure.
We were in for a little drive, and obviously thanks very much for letting me have a go as well.
You're welcome.
I think it's actually really good. I mean,
Yes.
just yesterday I test drove the e-tron. I didn't get on with those mirrors whatsoever. Thankfully, that car it's an option, but these are standard, aren't they?
They are.
And
I
so
think
how are you getting on with it?
I think it's about £2,000 option, £2,000 option,
Yeah.
or £1,500 on each.
Yeah.
So it's very quick. You forget their mirrors because of the way that forget their cameras.
Yeah.
The way that they position the camera on the on the dashboard, it actually your eye is where
Your
you'd be
eye
looking
belongs
for a
there,
mirror
aren't you?
normally.
Yeah.
It's just a few centimetres further in.
Yeah.
So I think it works out. And again, looking over to the left-hand side,
Yeah.
it's quite natural. You pick it up really quickly.
Yeah.
They're very high definition.
Yeah. No.
So I didn't have any issue with it. It also has a camera for the central mirror, because this is the advanced model, and I get on okay with that.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't. You can flick it, and you can have an ordinary plano mirror.
Yeah.
And she switches to that because we both have variofocal lenses, but it works okay with me.
Yeah.
But she didn't get on with it at all. Fair enough.
No. That's one thing I like, because I didn't know until I sat in it with you that as much as I like gadgets and technology, my concern was always, oh, that's great until the camera breaks. Now I don't have a rear view mirror, so it's great that you have the option that
Yes.
if
yeah.
something does go wrong or it's covered in mud or something, you still have a normal mirror, so you can just drive it.
So they have thought
think
about the
there's no
mud issue because it's cleaned by the sweep of the rear
Okay.
wiper.
There's squirt some water down there.
No. The camera's up at the back here,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
actually within the wiper.
They have thought about it. Yeah, that's everything. Yeah.
The mirrors, sorry, the cameras for the side mirrors,
Yeah.
I would say are much higher definition than the one for the central mirror,
Right.
and it works fine, you know, in beautiful weather like this, and also works fine at night because it dims automatically for bright lights and stuff as you can with other mirrors. It's at the dawn dusk switch over that you get. It's a little bit grainy.
Yeah.
You can still see okay, but it's just not as high a, I don't know, frame rate or numbers of pixels compared to the wing mirrors, wing cameras, camera wing mirrors.
Dual cameras. Yeah. I don't know. I always call them wing mirrors. Everyone's like, they don't live on the wing. I'm like,
The other thing that I think works well with them is they're actually inside the line of the car.
Okay.
Whereas the
they sit in with the wheel arch, don't they?
sticks
Yeah.
out.
So you know that you're never going to knock these off on a tree or something, are you?
Well,
Because you're going to scratch on the side of the car first. Yeah, that might be a good thing or a bad thing. And I know you were talking that obviously it's got an app, but you're still, you know, it took a little bit of time to get the app working. But in the future, you're going to have the options to unlock the car and everything with your phone as opposed to using the keys.
So I think that's coming in 2021. So it's a new. You're a security man. It's a new security protocol.
Right.
Using near field technology. I think BMW on the new 5 Series or 7 Series, they've got the launch, and they're available now. It will become available to Honda in January 2021. But yes, I guess that's the only issue I've got with the service at the moment is they've been able to link the phone to the car, but then the applications, and there's things like remote control of it, and you can remotely set up charging and set the heating schedule if you want to be leaving early in the morning, or switch the windscreen on, or find the car.
Yeah.
But at the moment, those applications aren't on my phone.
Right.
And they seem a bit. It's taken them a week, and they still haven't got them on my phone, which is. They'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I think Honda have had it's called the My Honda Plus app, and about a few years ago they had the My Honda app, and it didn't go too well, I don't think. So hopefully they're going to spend lots of more development budget, and they're going to make this available on the Jazz as well, the new Honda Jazz. So hopefully they'll bring it to other cars. It's available on all the cars, and they'll have more of a development budget.
Yeah.
And it's Android based actually. All the screens run Android 8.
Okay.
And that's one of the questions. Honda, can you help tell me? They're obviously just bringing out 11, is it?
Right.
I don't even know what the name of I'm an Apple fan.
Some bean thing with you. Yeah, saying I'm an Apple guy.
Will they update the OS?
Yeah.
And keep that refreshing? Yeah. How are they going to develop new applications? Because it's got wireless Apple CarPlay. It's wired Android Auto. So lots of things on the phone will be naturally upgraded. But what about the OS and the operating and the apps that sit within the Honda system?
Does it have option to connect to your Wi-Fi at home? Does it? If you're in
yes.
range? Yeah. So it should be able to do over-the-air updates and things.
Yes. Yeah. So at the moment it's Blue. You can Bluetooth it with your phone, and then there's a Wi-Fi hotspot. But again, that's one of the options that you can order through the app. Will be a personalised Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yeah. And so that's only been a couple of weeks, but have you got like a top 5 favourite things and things that maybe you're not so happy with?
So we were talking about. I'm not an aggressive driver. I've always been sort of quite chilled out and relaxed about it, but I think this is even more relaxing to drive. It will. It only has 2 modes of normal and sport, and the sport will pick up more quickly. And but pottering around the lanes here or going into Worcester, or I just find it very chilled and relaxing to drive. But yes, it will pick up and it handles very nicely. I think. I like the complete layout of the interior. I think the style of it sets it apart from almost any other car. You've got a sort of a lounge-like grey sofa type material, and the wood effect I think works really well. It sounds terrible. You see it in the B-roll. It's not like your granny's sideboard or whatever. I think it's LED headlights. I like the way it greets you and you approach the car. The doors open, and the headlights do this and flash. Any negatives? Not really. As I say, the app has been the only issue at the moment, but it's
Yeah.
we're only a week and a bit in, and I'm not
Yeah.
rushing anywhere. If if you require a long range, then this isn't the car for you.
No, yeah.
If you've got 6 kids and 4 dogs or whatever, this isn't the car for
Yeah.
you. But if you want a luxurious, easy to live with, it's a beautiful. I think it's a jewel of a car. It's a beautiful thing. I think I've likened it to it's a heart decision rather than a head decision. But then you think about the cost of running it. Actually, you could justify it in a head decision as well.
I think I like about it is it's quirky but not odd. If you know what I mean. It's not like I know it's all people have different tastes, but I always think of like the Duke. Some people love or hate the Duke, don't you? I don't think there's really too much to hate about the look of this car. I mean, it just looks kind of cool and quirky, regardless of your interest, I think. And the other thing I thought was really great about the inside is, like you said, it's not a massive car, but somehow Honda have done something with the space where it feels much bigger than it is.
It feels quite airy.
Along, obviously, we're sat in there with our masks on because of COVID, but you feel like you've got your own space. It doesn't feel like you're, all crunched up. And even in the back, there's plenty of room for. I'm 5'10". I had a little bit of headroom and plenty of knee space.
We haven't got much hair room.
Yeah, that's why.
Yes, they've thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it will begin like. It will rapid charge, so you can put it on a 100 kilowatt charger, and even on a 50 kilowatt, I think it'll be 30 minutes with 80% charge. It's water cooled battery, so it'll manage the battery. I'm hoping the battery management system will do its job well and will have a long life. And I forgot what I was going to say specifically about that. Oh, so maybe travelling in the back could be, a little tiresome because your legs are slightly up because obviously the battery's in the floor. But I don't know. Just going back to any other issues. One would be, Honda, why didn't you make the rear seats split?
Yeah, because it's a bench seat.
Yes,
so
and it folds down fine. You'll see it's not there's a sufficient space. But it would have been more convenient if you could have had a split folding rear seat, so you could have a passenger and more shopping or more luggage or whatever. Yeah, because that was quite useful in the Mini. Thanks again for letting me have a look, and especially a drive. So you're welcome.
When it's so shiny and new.
I'll keep polishing it. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks again, Julian. And leave some comments below if you've got any questions. I'm sure Julian checks the channel. Maybe you can respond to any comments that people have. But yeah. I'm secretly glad I was saying to Julian, I'm glad it hasn't got slightly too much more range. I don't know, I feel a bit sad that we got the Leaf, but it wouldn't quite meet the family needs we have as the second car. But yeah, it's really beautiful.
Okay, so just going to wrap up this video with my thoughts. So thanks again, Julian, for letting me have a look around your Honda E. Especially thank you for surprising me by letting me have a drive in it. So I actually am really, really impressed the Honda E. I thought it would be like a nice kind of looking car in terms of concept, but kind of not functional and a little bit tacky, but it really isn't. Everything about it I think I liked. Only thing for me, as we kind of discussed in the video with Julian, that the range isn't great, so it's really more in my mind as a city car. Obviously you could do long distances, but you have to charge up quite a few times. But I loved everything about it. I was really impressed with kind of how open it feels on the inside. I think that partially helps, one, with the materials that they use and how they've laid things out, but also it's not a sunroof, it's like a glass roof but with a sun visory kind of cover, if you want to kind of cover that over. But yeah, nothing really felt gimmicky. I liked the way that the screens were set up and how you could kind of move information from one screen to another, so you kind of have a good kind of stretch layout of how you want things, so maps on one, Spotify on the other, or whatever. One thing we didn't kind of mention in the video, but there's an HDMI connection at the front there along with some USBs, and you can plug in a games console or a DVD player or something if you wanted to use either one of those screens to play content on, which is really good. Also, something I really liked is Honda have put a 3-pin plug down there in the middle as well, so you could just plug some stuff in if you needed to kind of use your laptop or do something, whilst you're on, parked up somewhere, or if you've got someone, a passenger, whilst you want to do some work whilst on the move. But I really liked it. It drove really, really nicely. It's kind of mixed, kind of sporty yet comfortable kind of handling is how I would describe it. In terms of performance, I would say it's nippy. It's not super fast, but it's not slow either. So definitely can kind of handle itself. And as of all EVs, the fact that there's no kind of gears to shift through, you've got a good acceleration off the line. But yeah, I really enjoyed driving it. It's like like I said to Julian, it's a little bit like a TARDIS. It doesn't look that big from the outside, but inside does feel kind of open and spacious. You don't feel like you're sat on the passenger's lap or anything. You've got good space. Really like the materials inside as well. And most surprisingly was the back. Obviously, the boot is very compromised, but that's not the aim of this car, right? You can pop to the supermarket and do the shopping and stuff. That's going to be fine, but there's plenty of room in the back. So I think 2 adults could happily sit in there. For a longish journey, you've got enough leg room. Obviously, the seats, that bench seat is a little bit raised because of batteries, but I didn't find it kind of super uncomfortable for the time that I sat in there. So, no, I would definitely say consider a Honda E if it's a car that you like the look of and the range is going to kind of suit your needs. But yeah, brilliant. I think Honda have done a great job with Honda E and look forward to them kind of developing their EVs further, and be interested to see maybe if they do something a bit like a Civic in battery form. I think that would be the next step up, just a little bit larger in size, larger battery capacity, and would be then a stronger contender. So I still think it's a little bit odd how they've kind of started with this EV in terms of the range in comparison to its competitors, similar size like the Zoe and things. But I think they've kind of won over the hearts of their customers, right, with kind of the quirky, cool, stylish kind of features, and the fact it really is not like anything else. It's really damn cool. So leave some comments below. Again, if you have any questions, myself or Julian will try and answer them about the car itself. Also, if you've got a Honda E, let me know how you're getting on, and any feedback you want to share with other viewers of the channel.
Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.